everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Will.
And this is So I'm Watching Andor, Season 2, Episode 4, Ever Been to Ghorman, we think.
Yeah. It didn't show up on Disney when we pushed play.
But then it did.
It did show up in the corner.
Yeah, but then it's not on IMDb.
It's not on IMDb yet.
So, something like that.
Yeah, Disney was struggling when we got there. Kind of the whole time.
Yeah.
It was like you could really feel everyone trying to get to it at 9
on the dot,
p.m.
Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow when we do the other two, it'll be better.
It'll have calmed down a bit.
Let's start with Mon Mothma, just because that's the easiest to get kind of out of the way. So it is 1 year later, like we discussed, like you were pretty sure.
I did, find...
BBY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, BBY. The first set was BBY 4.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like how they do, 10,000 BC.
Sure.
It counts down in history to a significant event. And BBY stands for Before the Battle of Yavin, which is when the first Death Star is exploded in A New Hope.
Okay.
So that is the significant event that changes the tides.
Okay. So it's going to be 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then that year gap
is Rogue One.
In that gap, it's the gap between whenever the show ends and the Death Star blowing up.
Okay.
So in there, is when Rogue One is going to happen, but that 1 year leads to the explosion of the Death Star.
Okay, so Mon Mothma is trying to get votes, and she's losing.
Yeah.
Hard.
Well, she's trying to disrupt what they're doing on Ghorman.
Right.
The PORD was the directive that they used to resentence everybody that was already in prison.
Which is why Cassian got 6 years instead of... Yeah, and why
they doubled everybody's number that was already in prison.
And they were just, shuffling people around, floors and cells and stuff, so they wouldn't realize.
Mm-hmm. So they're, late to the game on that one, I would say.
Yeah.
But I assume there's something in the PORD that, stopping it now makes sense and has to do with what is going on Ghorman. Yeah. Yeah, she's losing pretty hard. Nobody's willing to go with her. Also, the Empire is already... I mean, it's been a year. We knew already what they were going to do, but they're making big noise about how Ghorman is, full of rebels and, going against the Empire and stuff. So it's very unpopular to even, talk about being nice to Ghorman. Yeah, and that's what she's kind of trying to do. So it's, not working for her at all. It's just what Dedra said.
Yeah.
They needed a rebel group that they could rely on to do the wrong, quote-unquote wrong thing. Yeah. So that they didn't have to generate propaganda. They had something to point at. Even if it was just one thing, people could hyperfixate on it. It's, you're watching too much Imperial news. It was a little on the nose. But... Boy. A lot of this episode was pretty on the nose. Up to and including everyone speaking French in the city that's being overrun by...
So it didn't sound like full French.
It was somewhere in between.
I think it was Belgium.
I was going to say somewhere between French and German, which is exactly like Belgium.
Or Swiss or something, Swiss French, something like that. Yeah. Because at first I thought it was just straight up German, and I was like, no, that's bold, and then they kept going, and I was like, no, that's definitely French. French-ish. Yeah. Okay, so that is essentially it with Mon Mothma. There's no indication so far that she ended up getting found out about the money at all, so it's they killed Tay, again, presumably,
allegedly.
And everything
he could be in a cell somewhere. Right?
Yeah. But everything is going as normal for her, except she's, really biffing it at her job. Yeah. Through no real fault of her own.
Yeah, but it felt like a box check a little bit, just to check in on her in this first episode. I'm unclear how involved she'll be in the next handful of episodes. We are just going to be checking in on her doing, her normal political stuff while Andor is on his, solo mission. Yeah.
Less good dresses. Really
she's not really
shifting into that 1970s, OG Mon Mothma look. Not my favorite.
Kind of moo look.
Yeah. Let's do Bix and Cassian.
100%.
Because I'm just sick to death. Okay, so they are on Coruscant.
Yep.
In the area, specifically where that stupid 1950s diner from the prequels is. I'm certain of it. It's my least favorite thing about any Star Wars that has ever happened.
The implication of 1950s Americana.
The implication of 1950s Earth Americana.
Yeah, it's weird.
On this, city planet is crazy. And I know, meta-wise, that it's just because George Lucas has a hard-on for the 50s. Mm-hmm. And I hate it. You already made American Graffiti. Yeah. Suck it up. Or make another 1950s movie. It doesn't make any sense, because is this a long time ago, or is this in the future? If this is a long time ago, the 1950s didn't happen. If it's in the future, how far away are we from Earth? How did this happen? How many generations has some frickin' alien been running this 1950s diner? It's not important. It's not in this episode.
It's not. You're
manifesting
this.
Now it's gonna show up, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But it feels like the same neighborhood. Like, that's what it feels like when Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's Obi-Wan, right?
I think so. Yeah. It's been a long time since I bothered to watch those movies.
End up there. So, okay, this is basically a safe house, I guess.
Yes.
That Luthen has.
It's a safe-ish house. They're not under lock and key.
No.
They are, like, free to come and go as they please. I assume they have false identities that they're living under, but Cassian specifically is being very careful with, like, where the cameras are, and he's always got his very non-conspicuously with his friggin' hood pulled up all the way.
Me.
Yeah, looks more suspicious that way than he would.
I totally agree.
To be fair, like, his is the
face,
recognizable face. Like,
although it is then also we find out, and I was going to say implied, but she just straight up says it. Apparently, at some point in the not so distant past, Cassian has killed a boy who recognized Bix.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are in between. I guess for the last year, they've been doing missions for Luthen, back and forth, coming back to the safe house and then going out back and forth. There's like a grocery store guy who kind of recognizes them. He's got a really darling little alien in a cage behind him. I was very into that, although the cage seemed too small.
Yeah. I mean, they always do.
But yeah, so she's still having problems, nightmares about Dr. Gorst, not the rapist, just Dr. Gorst.
Yeah.
Well, which is fine.
The rapist didn't obviously he physically came at her, but he did not execute on.
Yeah, but he beat her a lot.
Yeah, she killed him though.
She did physically kill him, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So, like you said, Cassian's being a lot safer. She's like, I can't stay cooped up here. It's very dreary, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I'm mostly over it. I don't want to just keep Bix around just to keep tormenting her.
Yeah.
You did say he killed a boy. I think her dream was like a combination of things. I think the guy in the chair, the soldier in the chair, was the guy that Andor killed.
Oh, okay. He said boy.
Did he?
Yeah, one or both of them said boy. You killed that boy.
Child?
Well, I don't know. Boy can mean, Will says I like to look at the boys, and it's about
adult boys.
Butts. Yeah. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. There's no butts over there.
No butts over there.
Actually, there is a butt right there, but it's Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, there is. The only boy over here is Owen Hahn.
Owen Hahn, yeah. I bet he's got a nice butt. He has lots of good sandwiches. So they are just kind of in this.
They're waiting for
they're
in like a holding pattern, kind of waiting for the next move, which eventually does come.
Yeah, so there's apparently a blinking light across the way, and so Bix sees it, and Andor goes to see Luthen, and he's like, this one is just for you, and he's sending him to Ghorman, right?
To Ghorman, yep. It sounds like at this stage, all that he wants out of Andor going to Ghorman
is to get the feel of the lay of the land.
It's like fact-finding mission, be like, what exactly are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he doesn't want Andor just to go, look and see it. He needs him to, get in
Recon.
there. He needs to, they need to know what the ultimate goal is.
Right. He basically is like, I can't go without Bix, and Luthen is like, you definitely are going to, and so he just does end up doing it. Yeah. And I was like, because he told Andor to go see Clea for details or whatever, and I was like, just put Bix with her.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be safe. Clea feels like she can handle herself.
Yeah, 100%.
So that seems like a win-win. Okay, I'm gonna just start at the beginning, or start kind of in the middle.
Well, wait. There's one more. Are you moving to Ghorman now?
Yeah.
There's one more really wonderful Bix thing.
Oh God, she's doing drugs.
She's doing drugs because Andor was leaving, or Andor was
I
gone.
also just think she's tormented.
Of course.
I don't think she's sleeping or whatever.
I don't find it that interesting.
My issue is she's been tormented now 2 seasons in a row. And I'm just certain she's going to die before the end of probably these 3 episodes. So, like, I can't decide if I would have preferred it if she had made some sort of peace with it or if she's going to die tortured, like mentally tortured.
Yeah.
But then also it's like, why do we keep her around this long just to fridge her? Like, I don't think Andor needs more motivation. He's already so in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very annoyed.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't suspect that she'll like go out in like a hail of gunfire in like a cool way either.
No.
She seems kind of like too broken down to do that. She's not going to almost definitely get any sort of revenge on Gorst, who we haven't actually seen again.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, I mean, in some weird twist, they'll cross paths again and she'll be able to do something to him, but I doubt that. That's such a stretch.
No,
and I still don't care that much.
Yeah, I don't care except for about the bad taste it puts in my mouth. For like, why do we even have, like, I would prefer to not have this female character than to be doing this to this female character.
Yeah, it feels very like when they put everything on Sansa in Game of Thrones for a long time. Totally. And it's like we do have other female characters. Like, we have Dedra, and we have Mon Mothma, and we have Edie Karn. Like, and we are not using Clea enough.
And we're not using Clea enough. And like, those are 4 distinctly different female archetypes. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I guess in that case, it's like fine that just this one sucks. But at the same time, I'm like, she didn't have to suck.
She'd be more interesting if she was useful.
Yeah.
And not just like, because right now she just feels like a weight.
Yes.
Like, just to make Andor, so that Andor has another thing to be worried about off screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm coming down really hard on it, but it's very annoying to me as a fan of Star Wars and a woman.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah. I had like a little back and forth with my buddy Scott the other day because he was really liking Andor and he posted something after the 3rd episode and that he really liked it and he liked that they're like telling adult stories or whatever. And I replied and I was like, I said basically all the same. Like,
yeah.
Like, I also like, I still love Andor precisely because it's telling adult stories and like this episode still fits that mold.
Yeah.
I just don't love that it's all coming down on Bix. What I said to him was like, like I thought like the rape stuff was a bridge too far for Star Wars. Like, I understand. Like, I like I am with you on like these stories need to get told. You have such a huge audience. You know, you can shine a light on something.
Yeah,
I just like I don't know. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. The big stuff in this episode still is not really flying for me. It just feels like they're like beating her down for Andor's sake and the storytelling of Andor's sake and not her own character. But well, I guess we will see like if they do something, but like we cannot do this for 8 more episodes.
I can't do it for that long. The thing I think that's like especially bothersome to me is and we talked about it a little bit last week, is I kind of viewed Star Wars in a similar vein as thematically as something like Schitt's Creek, where it's like Dan Levy was like, I'm going to create a universe where homophobia does not exist.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, this for 50 years, for 48 years has been a universe where out and out rape didn't happen. We don't see it. Maybe it does in the background.
Yeah.
We don't see it. The worst thing we see, again, is Princess Leia in the gold bikini. But even that, like I said, the implication is that he's looking at her. She's there to look at and be appealing. Mm-hmm. And like, I got a princess. Look what I'm doing to her.
Yeah, sure.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it really hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah. It's still even this stuff is like a bridge too far for me because now it's been 2 years since Gorst initially.
Yeah.
And then a year since the rape attempt.
Yeah.
So I do like I'm almost glad that it is the Gorst stuff. Like I don't need to keep being reminded that it's like she has rape trauma, but
yeah. Also, let's just shout out Joshua James. That's the name of the actor playing Dr. Gorst.
I mean, yeah, good for him.
Man, dude, you got a creepy face.
Yeah.
And I love that for you. Mm-hmm. Keep doing this. You have job security.
Yeah.
You will be this character forever.
There's never not going to be need for a creepy guy.
Yeah.
There's it must have been weirdly, I think it was House actually. There's like an episode of house where
Doug Jones.
Yeah, he is like in the hospital, but he's like a secret rapist or something.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But
he's a weird looking guy.
Yeah, he's creepy all the time too. I love him.
He's not like weird looking in this. I'm no disrespect to the amazing Doug Jones. He's not weird looking in like a handsome way like Andy Serkis is.
Sure.
And I find Andy Serkis a very appealing guy, rugged guy. But he is weird looking. He looks like Gollum. Like you see Gollum in
his
him.
face. Yeah, I see it.
Doug Jones is not quite that.
No.
He's just a little.
But do you know who is hot? Abe Sapien.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
sorry to like make us go on that tangent. I could have just let it slide and we'd be almost done by now. But
no, it's. I think it's still worth mentioning because it really just like I haven't stopped thinking about it since last week, and not in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I keep on being like, man, what a misfire.
Yeah.
So, moving on to like the bulk of the episode, which is in Ghorman.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the only other thing that happens on Coruscant is Luthen is meeting, or I guess two things. Luthen is meeting with this guy named Lonnie, the redheaded guy from season one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to get information on this, whatever's happening in Ghorman, and also Axis, and also Dedra.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dedra is still like working Ghorman, but from Coruscant.
Yeah.
And Lonnie is like, I only know as much as I know, and I don't know what the end game is.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that they're doing this propaganda.
Yeah,
their spill.
Krennic's like effort at their little council in the previous set of episodes to keep everything secret seems to have worked because not even Lonnie, who is like at the round table, knows anything. He didn't even know Dedra was like officially on the Ghorman thing.
Right.
Like he doesn't know what the Ghorman thing is, but he does know she's assigned to Ghorman.
Yeah.
So the secretive nature of that has been successful for at least this year. And you can tell that Luthen is like, we need to know.
We need something.
We need anything.
Which I believe is the biggest reason why he's sending Cassian there.
But I don't think he even until that point knew that Ghorman was a place that he should send him.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so that is happening. Meanwhile, Cyril has been dispatched to Ghorman.
Yeah.
And he is, at the beginning, he's talking to Edie. And so I think I was right about what she said. Like, you had even found a woman. So I think even Edie thinks that they are not together anymore because they're separate.
Sure.
I think she just, like,
she's berating him because they're selling a story to Edie that
to everybody.
Sure.
Yeah. And so she's basically placed her boy toy in this, like, Bureau of, what was it? Like standards office job. And he is being listened to and he is being followed. He knows this and it is part of the plan with Dedra so that he can infiltrate this. It's not even really a rebellion, but it's like this Ghorman society that's like not really even rising up at this point, but they are having discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one guy really wanted this guy. Isn't that what he did?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, or in alien
sure.
language.
It was very like, Fafanapoli.
Yeah, right. I just wondered if it was sort of like a call to arms signal.
No, it was very like pointed straight at him.
At the guy, okay. I guess the way they're doing it is this sort of buskerish guy in like the plaza is like giving him spiders.
It seems like those are little novelty
like
tourism things. They sell, the husks of spiders as like little tourist gifts, decoration.
Yeah. And so inside there's like a candy with a thing wrapped around it that like tells you the time and place of the meeting.
Yeah.
So he confirms with Dedra that he should go, and he goes and he listens, and then it's like the three people who've been sort of like following and listening to him all kind of come around.
It was very do you remember, I don't even remember if I saw it with you. It's getting up there in ages. German movie called The Lives of Others.
I've never seen that.
There's like a German guy it's a World War II movie, and there's a German like spy in the attic of this like apartment building, and he's just like up there, and he's just like listening to the lives of
hidden
others.
People.
No, not hidden. Just like listening. Like this was his like block to monitor.
Interesting.
So they were like watching It was like same, like shot for shot, like the close up of the face of her face when she was holding the
2006.
Yeah,
I would watch that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I remember looking. I think I saw it at the Enzian.
Probably. It's actually really interesting. There's basically, hey, remember 20 years ago when George Lucas was like, watch out for those tariffs? It's very that. There's like a lot of, the Empire's putting new taxes and shipping costs and like all of this stuff. And so it's like strangling our silk manufacturing.
Yep.
And like a lot of people don't even know if they want to open the hives or the webs or whatever next season. Like one of them called it a webbery. And I was like, I love that. I love a little whimsy in my brutalist space opera.
Yeah. They're also everyone is concerned about the armory that they're building in Palma, which I guess is like a city.
Yeah, we also got a Grand Moff Tarkin shout out because it was like 15 years ago he murdered X amount of people in this battle, and so then there was a promise that they would never build anything to shadow the memorial, but this building, which they are claiming is just like an office building, then they're pretty sure is an armory.
Yeah.
Is being built tall enough to cast a shadow on the memorial, which is really bad for.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
Well, they are there fully with the expectation that that planet's not going to exist after.
No, of course, 100%. And the thing is like, I know that the Empire is evil, but I do think that so many evil things don't take like complacency 101, because the easiest way to like do this without incite, it's like they're trying to incite a riot. Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they are, so that they can kill them with like cause.
Kill them isn't the right term, but it's so they can remove them
or
in some way, or forcefully evacuate them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like, I'm just like, you don't actually care about the people, and like you said, you are planning to eradicate this planet regardless. So why do you just not keep the Ghormans complacent and like don't cover up their thing and just like don't enact all of these things and then just annihilate them while you're annihilating the planet anyway?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% on that.
Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
They maybe are,
unless they're if they're actively trying not to kill people.
Yeah, they're just trying to like force them, like give them reason enough to leave.
Okay, then
or
fine.
Do whatever.
Because I guess that would look bad, but it's like you're literally so close to being about to start exploding planets.
Yeah.
Wholesale.
Yeah.
Without evacuation.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said to you is I know the Death Star appears in this season because it's in the trailer.
Okay.
So I think they are just like the jail stuff. Like, I am pretty sure they were like building Death Star parts.
Yeah.
I think that they're mining this planet out to power the Death Star.
The Death Star.
Because it's so big. Like, having a big core like a planet would be a way to
for sure
to power it.
For sure. I actually did forget one other thing. Mostly it's because, don't kill me, but like, I don't really care for Saw Gerrera.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like a very specific type of character. Like,
I really do like Forrest
character.
Whitaker.
I do too. I think I really liked that back and forth with him, and it wasn't really a back and forth, but him with Ghorman. He's just he's been in it too long, you know.
Yeah. I also just think he speaks in riddles, like, which I feel like is not helpful for this type of endeavor. But Willman has built something. Do you know what it is?
No.
I don't know what it is either.
I don't.
He's built something. He's engineered.
Well, they have something.
Some piece of machine.
They have something that he knows how to
work.
Operate.
Yeah.
I don't know that he built it from scratch, but they have it.
He's at least worked on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said something about Saw said something about like energy, like unlimited energy, kind of.
Yeah.
So I assume it's some kind of engine.
I think it could also be like a weapon, because the way that they were talking about it, he was like, you teach him how to do all the configurations, and he was like, well, it'd be better if I knew what you were using it on, and he was like, just teach him everything. It doesn't matter.
Well, he didn't say what you're using on. He said he was like, it'd be better if I knew what, like, where you were going to hit.
Yeah.
So like if he knew where they were going with it, so like it could be like he maybe needs to know how far away it is.
Sure.
Because maybe it's a jump drive.
Or something about like the atmosphere or something if it's being used on the ground.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So
it's
basically,
it's all speculation.
Yeah,
it is a very dangerous
element
that they are used that is used in this thing though, because Saw seemed very like he was huffing it almost.
Yeah. That is basically it. I mean, he obviously is working with the rebels in a different way than Bix and Cassian, but that's basically it on this episode. Pretty good still. I'm kind of with you at this point. I'm like, I'm going to be mad no matter what they do with Bix. If we keep on going with this vibe of her, I'm going to be pissed. And if she just dies of like this blue drug overdose, I'm going to be pissed. So I guess we'll see where it goes. But yeah. Pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was very like we're setting up the next 2 episodes, obviously, because the next 2 are out.
Yep. And we will watch them tomorrow.
And we will be watching them tomorrow. So look for those episodes later in the week.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.